people in here, they've been inside from the start. They haven't had to survive. And they just don't get it. They can't.
The very thing that makes you different is what makes you special.
Now I'm all warm and fuzzy inside.
To fight for this city. To be the symbol of hope that the Arrow never was. I am the Green Arrow.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
I
everyone.
wasn't telling you to rip your comic. I was saying rip as in Rip Hunter.
Oh, okay. I see. I was confused.
Yeah.
All right. So, for those who don't know what's going on, I was holding up my graphic novel collection, trade paperback collection of the original Time Masters miniseries by DC Comics,
Very nice.
and in honor of a certain show that premiered this week.
That's right.
And by the way, welcome to the Fandom Zone podcast. I'm
Hello,
Charles.
everyone.
I'm Charles Skaggs, and with me, as always, is the ever incredible Karen Lindsay.
Hello. Very happy to be here this week.
Yeah.
Lots of interesting things to talk about.
Yeah, Karen's buried in a little bit of snow.
A little bit. So you didn't get any, huh?
We were supposed to get maybe like a couple inches,
Oh, man.
and we got nothing.
Oh, shoot.
So the fortunes smiled upon Columbus, Ohio, and laughed at the East Coast.
Yeah, we got like 2 feet here. So
And laughed and laughed and laughed.
yeah, and my husband had to take an Uber to work today. He had to meet him out like on the main street and take it to work because the government's not shut down today.
Y'all got Jonas, yo.
Well, okay.
Well, yeah, that's
That's
storm.
the name of it, right?
It's the name of the superstorm, Jonas.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jonas.
All right, so
Not one of the brothers.
yeah.
as it
So
was.
we're covering this week. We're going to do the week ending. What is it? The 23rd of January,
January.
2016.
That's right. So we'll be talking about
Lots of stuff.
Supergirl, Season 1, Episode 10, Childish Things. The Flash, Season 2, Episode 10, Potential Energy. Agent Carter, Season 2, Episode 1 and 2, The Lady in the Lake, and A View in the Dark. Arrow, Season 4, Episode 10, Blood Debts. And the long-anticipated Legends of Tomorrow, Season 1,
Yay!
Episode 1, Pilot Part 1. Yay!
And there was much rejoicing. Hooray! Hooray!
I always see the little flags going up and down.
I just pictures like, and they were forced to eat Robin's minstrels, and there was much rejoicing. Hooray! I just love that little like underscored. Hooray! You know, it's not like yeah. It's
I know it's just
it's totally underplayed. It's hooray!
I know, and it's Terry Gilliam's art, and it's just like the little paper.
Yes. Yeah, they're like on sticks,
Paper flags.
on a stick
Yeah.
or something when he's
I love
animating.
it.
That cut paper
Yeah,
animation is just I love it. I love it to death.
Me
That's-
too.
that's stop motion. Yeah, it's great.
I've got to watch it again. I have it sitting here in a box ready
And
for
then
me.
we're talking about, of course, Monty Python, the Holy Grail for those.
Yes, the Holy Grail.
Because it's the Holy Grail of Monty Python comedy.
What is this bizarre segue that's happening right
Shush you.
It's worth it. The segue's worth it.
It is. All right. So what shall we cover first?
Supergirl. It started on
Supergirl. Yeah,
Monday.
let's go right down the week.
So Childish Things, written by Anna Muskie Goldwyn and James DeWill, directed by Jamie Babbitt.
Yes. And we get the first appearance of the Toy Man.
That's right, the real Toy Man.
Yeah,
Senior.
not Toy Man Jr. or Toy
Right.
or Toy Boy.
Toy Boy. as he would like to be, apparently, in this one.
Yes, he is.
And I have A story, B story, C story, as I've liked to do over the last few weeks. I have A story, Cats in the Cradle, and no, not that cat, not the cat from Catco, but Cats in the Cradle and the Silver Spoon, that cat. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and that would be James, don't call me Jimmy Olsen, being dissatisfied with his job.
Right.
And then, of course, I think this one's the cleverest. Lord, help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And we have the bonus side story of mystery Martianing.
Yes. So this cat metaphor. So you're not talking about Cat Grant.
I'm not referencing Cat Grant. I'm
What?
referencing the father-son relationship between.
Oh, okay.
Cats.
I wasn't getting the Cats in the Cradle metaphor song.
Oh,
I didn't know what the song was referring to.
oh,
I know the song.
you know the song. Okay,
I know the song, so I'm not totally ignorant on that.
it's about a father and son having a horrible relationship.
That's what blew me. Okay, got it. All right, got it. That's what blew my minds. Okay, so since we're going to talk about that first, all right, we get Toyman's father, played by Henry Czerny.
Yeah, he did a great job.
He did, and so we start off. He's breaking out of prison. There's this whole little sequence where, like, he tricks some guards to come in, and he does that whole thing where he's got like the doll with the voice or whatever.
Yeah, and the awesome yo-yos,
Yes.
which I don't know how he got them in there, but I don't care. It's a hand wave that I'm okay with because they were amazing.
I was wondering, and I posted this on Twitter. I was like, okay, so did the Toyman like have Gogo Yubari from Kill Bill as a consultant? Because those, right? With their little spinning yo-yo blade.
Exactly.
That's what it totally reminded me of.
Yeah, it was fantastic. The first two were just like, oh, that's awesome. And then the third one where he just threw it behind him without looking, that was badass. I mean, it really was.
I would have loved it if they would have had like a Japanese schoolgirl or a girl in a Japanese schoolgirl outfit just standing off the corner nodding an improvement. Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
That's how it's done, son.
I give approval, yes. That would have been so great.
Very great. So so he breaks out, hits the news over at Catco on their little TV monitors.
Mm-hmm.
Wynn wants nothing to do with this.
No, and mind you, okay, I get that he doesn't want to hear about it, but someone just walks by and turns it up because they want to hear the news.
Yeah, right.
And he just turns it off like, screw you.
Yeah.
I don't even want you to hear it.
Yep.
I'm out. He drops the remote and walks off.
Well, one thing I'm noticing about Wynn, he's all about Wynn.
He's so petulant.
He is. I mean, even if he thought he had a shot at Supergirl, he is not worthy of Supergirl.
No, he's really not.
He's not. And this episode kind of proved it to me.
Yeah. And I think this is the episode that made me believe that they might turn him into Toyman.
Yeah.
It's putting that seed into my brain. Oh, it's really putting that seed into my brain where it's just craziness, right?
Exactly.
He's
Sorry, I totally threw Karen off her game just now.
Yeah.
That's on me. So he wants his, like, he doesn't want anything to do with his father. Okay, and then all of a sudden we get FBI agent Anya. Oh wait, I mean FBI agent Cameron Chase.
Right. Cameron Chase, who actually is in the comics as well.
Yes.
And who has a very interesting power in the comics.
Yes.
So I hope she comes back.
Right. Well, the thing I'm wondering about Chase, and she's played by Emma Caulfield from Buffy. That's where I was going with that.
Right. Who's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. He looked a little unrecognizable. I haven't seen her in a while.
Her hair was way different.
Was it her hair? Because I thought her face looked a little.
Well, maybe
there was some work done there.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm speculating.
Different.
So
But
I have no.
for me, I put it on her hair more than anything.
Maybe it was the makeup or something threw me.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but she did look different.
Yeah, she just didn't look like, I guess, the Emma Caulfield. Because I've seen Emma Caulfield in person at conventions, and she didn't really resemble that person. So maybe it's the makeup and hair and whatnot. But yeah, Chase. Now, Chase in the comics is interestingly, she's works for the DEO
Correct.
in the comics,
Not the FBI.
not the FBI.
Right.
So, and she works with a character called Mr. Bones, who's now Director Bones, who's
Right.
from Infinity Incorporated.
Right.
One of my favorite 80s series.
Right. And she didn't start out knowing what her power was
Right.
in the comics either.
Well, her whole deal is, to give a little background on Chase, her father was this really like fourth-rate superhero, or really not really wannabe, but he was a fourth-rate superhero who called himself like the Acrobat.
Right.
Like
right.
acro with a hyphen bat.
Bat. Right.
So he was like a bat that could do acrobatics.
Right. And didn't she interact with Man Bat?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
No?
I don't know about that. But the whole thing is her father died, and through whatever circumstances, I can't remember, but it burned her really bad on superheroes.
Right.
To the point where she has this little personal crusade against superheroes.
Against superheroes, right.
So I'm sure
So
that's going to come into
That
play.
would be perfect for her.
Yeah, so yeah, with like hooking up with Maxwell Lord maybe, or that ends up with the DEO. Something's going on there.
Right.
So I think they've got long-term plans for.
Should we spoil
Chase.
her hero power or not? Because I did on the Supergirl podcast.
I don't care. It's in the comics. It's been
Okay.
out for a while. It's not like it's a state secret.
She mutes the powers of anyone around her who has powers.
Right.
So I think that would be super interesting
It would be.
on the show.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, if it's in the comics, it's fair game.
Okay, good. Yeah.
That's
And-
not really a spoiler because, it's on Wikipedia. It's not like,
Right.
it's out there.
And she had her own comic called Chase.
Yes, which I do also have
Me too.
in the trade paperbacky form. I had the original issues and then I replaced it with.
Yeah, me too.
But
It's stupid, right? That we have both.
yeah, but
I
I got rid of my individual issues.
Oh, okay.
But one of the issues I loved is that I'm a big fan of this really obscure character called Airwave.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the cases that she does in the comic is that she goes to investigate what happened to Airwave, who is Hal Jordan's nephew,
Mm-hmm.
also named Hal Jordan,
Right.
which is not confusing at all.
No,
But yeah.
of course not. Hey, Hal. Hi, Uncle Hal.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Hal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but her power is really cool. So I'm glad they introduced her on the show. Now, if they're going to pull another Hank Henshaw on me and make her completely different, I might get tired of that. I mean, I'm cool with them doing it with Hank because it was a shock and a good turn of events, and it doesn't leave out the possibility of Hank,
Right.
the real Hank, coming into the show.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Chase come back again
Yes.
in her role with the DEO or with Lord Industries or whatever.
She's that kind of character that's going to like straddle that gray area,
Mhm.
I think, and that's going to make her really interesting. I think.
Right. And especially on a show with someone like Max Lord,
Yeah.
who's already in that camp, firmly in that camp.
Well, Max Lord is like pretty entrenched at the moment in the Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Hating aliens camp.
Right.
Hating metahuman.
Now that could change
aliens.
over time as
Sure,
the show goes on, but yeah.
Right. But right now we have that precedent set
Yeah.
for someone like that. Anyway,
So
Cats in the Cradle.
yeah. So Wynn ends up finding his father after a while. He finds him at this arcade. He gets invited or whatever, and it looks exactly like the set of Mr. Robot. If you've ever seen Mr.
Yeah, it does.
Robot.
It does.
I love Mr. Robot. That's a
Me
whole
too.
nother topic. But so his father's like, "Oh yeah, we're the same. We're exactly alike,"
Yeah,
implying
Wynn's
that Wynn has that darkness too.
Which he does.
Which
but-
apparently he does.
Yeah.
And I'm getting that vibe. And I kind of mentioned this before that What if he goes down that dark road?
Yeah.
And I think it's highly possible that he will.
I think it is too. I didn't think so until this episode,
I
but
think
now
I think the fact that I think it's going to be fueled by his resentment that Kara doesn't love him. Like he's going to go all purple man
Mhm.
to go back to our Jessica Jones
Right.
discussions. He's going to
Right.
go all purple man on Supergirl.
Well, and it's not going to help that now she's going to get another guy that
Mhm.
she's interested in on the show as
Right.
well.
Right. Yeah, the Cat's son.
Right.
Adam. Right.
Mm.
So so yeah, there's a whole big sequence where like this cloud of gas takes out is used on the FBI as they're cornering Toyman. Supergirl saves the day, of course, by
Yeah,
inhaling the
she sucks
gas.
in the gas and then
Yep.
blows it up into the air
then,
where it disperses.
And then Chase tells Toy Boy, Win.
Win.
I know, I gotta call him Win.
No, Toy Boy's
Toy
fine.
Boy, you like Toy Boy?
I'm okay with that,
Okay, but apparently she's not convinced that he wants nothing to do with his father.
which I'm not either. I'm in
Right.
Chase's
But
camp,
Win somehow thinks that Chase wants his father killed,
right?
which I'm not sure how he got at that conclusion.
I'm not sure either.
Okay,
I don't think Chase wants to kill him
right.
either. I mean, it just seems like she wants him apprehended, right?
Right, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and eventually this ends up at a toy convention where Toyman wants revenge on his ex-boss.
Who in the comics is Lex Luthor, but because they are not using Lex Luthor, it's actually the name of the kid who stole his toy from him.
So I'm kind of wondering why they didn't just go with him trying to kill Maxwell Lord. Because if Lord is the Lex Luthor substitute for this show, it would
I know.
it would fit in rather well.
I know.
And it would bring Lord into the central storyline.
Right.
But
And by the way, could they make it more obvious that he was Steve Jobs?
yeah, exactly. I know.
Because he had the profile picture with the glasses and the
Mhm.
turtleneck and all
Yeah,
that.
it's totally
So Steve
deliberate.
Jobs.
Yeah.
It was
So
so-
basically, so Toyman wants his son to assassinate his ex-boss.
right.
Doesn't want to dirty his hands.
Of
so he wants-
course.
he
And he
wants-
gives him that toy gun.
He wants Junior to do it.
Junior.
Junior. I keep thinking of Sean Connery and Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
So Chase and the FBI show up to kill Win. Sadly, that doesn't happen because Supergirl stops them and
Mhm.
finds the bombs, and the day is saved.
Right. And that is the worst plan ever, to make everyone go to one side of a convention hall quickly.
Mhm.
That would never, ever happen.
Right.
So many people would die.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a convention
And then she triggers off the sprinklers so
and
the
makes
bu-
it into a wall of ice?
Yeah.
The
It
worst
seems
plan.
it was like the worst plan. It's like, why don't you just use your super speed, grab the bombs, and run out,
Right.
fly out the thing?
Right.
Okay.
It was so stupid.
All right.
But anyway, yeah.
So that wasn't just me that felt that way.
No, it was the dumbest plan.
Okay. So let's move on to your next.
Pictures with 1,000 words. It's the Jimmy
Jimmy.
James,
Yep.
and Lucy. And
Yes.
starting to like Lucy a little bit more in the show.
Yeah, because what happens in this one is Lucy gets offered a job by Kat.
Mm-hmm. And they're getting along like a house on fire. And I don't know if it's just me.
Fire!
But I am kind of fire.
Fire!
I am kind of thinking that Kat might be stirring the pot a little bit here.
Yeah, I
Well-
think you're right.
She knows that Kara has a thing for James.
Oh, so do you think that maybe she's looking out for Kara by sabotaging
No.
her crush on
I
James?
think she likes to watch her employees like an ant farm.
Mm.
And she wants to see it all happen.
That's
under
even
her
that's,
nose.
even that's even more twisted. I love that.
That's what I think she's doing.
Right?
And she likes Lucy. She sees a little bit of herself.
Right. So really, she's a sociopath. Kat is.
I think so.
Yeah, I think there's a good hint of that.
And, I really do see, she wanted to put Lucy on that same floor
Mm-hmm.
so that they would all be working on the same floor.
Right.
I can see her watching them.
It's like a time bomb waiting to go off.
Yeah.
because you've got Wynn, who's hung up on Kara,
Mm-hmm.
Kara, who's hung up on James,
Right.
James, who vacillates between Kara and his
Lucy.
girlfriend, Lucy.
Right. Who, if he had gotten a hint from Kara before Lucy came back, he probably would be with Kara.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. And then there's going to be Adam, and Kat is going to be all over that, not wanting that to happen. Right? I mean, she's not going to want Kara to be with Adam at all.
Tune in next week for The Young and the Kryptonian.
Well, they're making it that way.
They are. It's a little getting
there's
a little too soap opera 90210-y.
I'm not a big fan of him not being happy with his job.
Yeah.
It's a step up, right? That job?
I would think. But
So anyway,
yeah.
I do like Lucy, though. I like that she took a stand. She left her father.
Right.
She's trying to make a name for herself. She decided on her own that she wanted this job.
And she's not looking for a handout.
No.
So
And yay for her.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. And I do like that she tried to help them in this episode. She went out on a limb. She dug right in and she helped them, get out of a mess. So, I mean, it's not the Lucy that I remember that I hate from everything. So I kind of dig her in this show.
right.
So
Well, she's not she's at the moment she's not a schemer.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That could change.
it could.
It could.
It could. I'm keeping it in mind. And then Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex.
Yeah.
Alex decides she's going to be, as Maxwell Lord calls her, Matahari.
Yeah, Lord is really hung up on Alex.
Well, but he knows what she's doing.
Well, she's also suspicious.
Right.
And we find out some interesting developments at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But
So they have their little dinner, and I do think
Yeah.
that they're attracted to each other, don't you?
I think there's at least chemistry there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Alex is, at least in this episode, she's playing him.
She thinks she is.
Well, she takes him out to dinner so that John can infiltrate Lord Technologies, disguised as Max.
Horrible imitation.
They come at the worst plans on this show.
I know. What a horrible imitation. Although it was quite funny when he says
Yeah.
something about that he can't grow a beard, and that's why
Yeah.
Alex doesn't
Well,
stay at dinner with him.
The thing that drove me nuts during that whole business where like the guard confronts him at Lord Technologies and asks him the password,
Mm-hmm.
Jean, you can read minds.
Right.
You could get the password from
Right.
the guard.
Right.
You don't have to wipe out the poor guy's brain.
Yeah, and when he's Hank Henshaw, he talks like a normal person.
Yeah.
When he's Max Lord, he doesn't talk like a normal person. He talks very stilted and,
Yeah,
like
robotic.
a machine.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah, he's not a robot, but they write him like one.
right. But when he's Hank Henshaw, he talks like a normal.
Yeah, and supposedly he's been around on the Earth for a while.
Right.
So why does
Like,
he? So then,
I mean, it was funny
yeah,
when he was trying to be Max Lord and all that.
maybe
but,
that was just because the actor thought that that's how he should play it,
yeah, maybe.
and he shouldn't have played it that way.
Right.
Peter Facelli.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fasinelli. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
But yeah, I just that drove me nuts. I'm like, just read the guy's mind and get the password. You'd be fine.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah, handle it.
I should not be telling you how to use your superpowers.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Drove me crazy. All right.
Yeah, and at least this time he knew to walk through the wall.
Yeah, we did
Right?
get that was our first real. We get our first taste of John's intangibility
Right.
power, where he can walk through walls and stuff.
He doesn't want to.
Gets all Kitty Pryde on that wall.
Right, exactly. Kitty Prideful
Yeah. Ooh,
on the wall. Very nice, right?
Very nice. Well
Yeah.
played. Well played.
Yeah, that was my mystery Martianing thing where he's kind of using his powers. And he does find out about the Miss Bizarro.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're setting up Bizarro Girl.
Right.
I know you don't like the term Bizarro Girl,
No, Bizarre Girl's fine.
but
What
yeah,
did I
so,
call her last week? Bizarre?
Bizarrette, yeah.
Whatever. I don't care anymore.
So yeah, they're setting that up. When John's like, "I'll come back for you," and he never does.
No, of course not.
So yeah.
If he doesn't come back for her, then
Right.
won't get Bizarro Girl. So he can't come back for her. The plot would be gone if he came back.
Exactly. The big payoff, though, in this episode, of course, is at the end where we find out. During dinner,
Mm-hmm.
Max puts this camera on Alex's purse.
I did not catch it. Did you catch it?
Well, he did this thing with the purse. I didn't know what he did.
Okay.
He put something on it. I didn't realize it was a camera. I thought it was a tracking device.
Okay.
But it turns out it's a camera. And oh, guess what? Kara's just lounging around the apartment
In her Supergirl
dressed in her Supergirl costume. So therefore, one, Alex knows about her sister Kara, or Max knows about Alex's sister Kara, and he knows that Kara is now Supergirl.
Right.
And that Alex has been lying to him.
Right.
So, yeah.
He knows all kinds of things now.
Yes.
And this really surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that they were going to let him in on all this stuff this quickly.
Yeah, because it's only episode 10.
Right.
So that's good.
So I agree.
I think it raises the stakes.
I think it does too. And it means that they're really going to have to move things along. And I like that.
Yes.
That means that the plot is going forward very quickly. And that is a really good thing, in my opinion. If the story's chugging along, then we don't have to worry so much about these little hand waves.
Exactly.
It means the story is, the story is good enough to carry it. I'm fine with it. So
Me too.
yeah.
And speaking of moving things along,
Uh-huh. What did you give this episode?
what did you give this episode? You knew where I was going with that.
I gave it 8 skee balls.
8 skee balls.
Yeah, because in the thing there were skee ball
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
And hanging out with Mr. Robot.
That's right. What did you give it?
I gave it also an 8. 8 ugly Supergirl dolls.
Yeah, they were hideous.
Because what's up with
I
that?
don't know.
No
They were-
style at all. It's like a 3-year-old put that together.
It was like a yarn doll or something. It
Yeah,
was,
something. Maybe it was one of those intentionally ugly dolls, but it was.
I think so.
I don't know. I hope
A
so.
corn husk doll or something. It was very weird.
I know.
All right.
Next. Thank you.
Transition.
Exactly.
The Flash.
The Flash.
Season 2, episode 10, Potential Energy. Written by Brian Q. Miller.
Of Smallville fame.
That's right. I was waiting for you to
Yeah. And he wrote the Smallville, was it season 10 or season 11 digital comic book for DC Comics.
Cool.
So yeah.
I know he writes comics.
Yeah, he does write books.
And Rob Hardy, directed by Rob Hardy.
Right. So this episode, as returning from their little hiatus.
Uh-huh.
You want to run down our topics.
Okay, there's a theme here on the A story, B story, C story, and I'll tell you what it is afterwards if you can't get it.
Okay.
A story is not happy together, and that's Barry and Patty.
Right.
B story, think I'll run away, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
That's the turtle story. And the C story is outside chance, which is Wally. And then the bonus is we'll meet again, which is Eobard. So what's the theme?
No.
You don't know.
I don't know.
They're all titles of songs
Okay.
by the same artist.
Well, let's see. We'll meet again. That comes.
Well,
Hmm.
start with the first one.
Start with the first one. What was the first?
Together.
Oh, happy together. So happy together.
The turtle.
Oh.
They're all turtle songs.
Obscure 60s band.
That's right. But
nice.
they're turtles, get it?
That's clever.
And they all fit.
That's excellent.
Thank you.
Well played. You got me. You stumped me.
Did you like that?
I did like that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because this episode gives us the turtle.
By the way, they were all in the top 50
Oh, really?
on the charts as well, all of those songs.
Interesting.
So I didn't pick really obscure, super
It's-
obscure songs.
Well, not super obscure, but yeah, they're
Well,
a little old.
But they're the Turtles.
I know.
Everyone knows the Turtles.
I know.
Okay, anyway.
Everyone over 45.
Happy Together? Who doesn't know Happy Together? Anyway, okay.
Okay.
So Happy Together.
Yeah, so we introduced the turtle, played by Aaron Douglas from Battlestar Galactica fame.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
He's just like the turtle, though, from the
he's
comics.
Chief Tyrrell, and they were pretty clever. They used like the little hoodie jacket.
Mhm. Yeah, to make it look like a shell.
Yeah, to make it look like a
Sort of,
shell. So
yeah.
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So we you want to do Barry and Patty first?
We can do turtle first. That's Think I'll Run Away, kinda.
Oh, okay. We'll do turtle first then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Barry realizes that he can't run around the turtle because the turtle takes his quickness.
Now we should set this up though.
Okay.
They're going after the turtle, who is apparently this white whale.
Cisco's white whale.
This legend out there that Barry just was never told about. That
Right.
Cisco's been trying to track down.
Convenient.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, by the way, hey, there's this guy we've been really investigating for over a year, and we never told you.
Right. In fact, I actually, after I watched it first once through, I went back and rewatched it to find out why they were talking about the turtle, and I'm like, oh, they just picked him out of a hat.
Well, the whole purpose is that supposedly Cisco suddenly remembers that, oh, by the way, hey, this guy seems to slow things down.
Right.
We could
And
use
so we could
that
slow down.
against Zoom.
Right.
So maybe we better go after this guy
Right.
conveniently.
Right. Conveniently, let's
Yeah.
find him. And it just so happens that he's stealing things
Yes.
as we speak.
Right. And he's apparently stealing things of personal significance.
Hmm.
in
They
this
have
episode.
sentimental value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes like to a museum,
But it
the
has,
Central
to,
City Museum.
it has to be like something that was in my family for generations or
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. But he wants to deprive people of the things they love.
Right.
Right.
Which is, I guess it's like the MO of the real turtle from the comics, right? Kind of.
Yeah. So a little quick background, really quick. The turtle was the very first foe that Barry Allen fought in Barry Allen's first appearance in Showcase number 4 back in 1956.
Hmm.
So
So it is kind of a nod to the comics.
it is, and it's kind of great that they're only apparently going to do this one episode with the turtle, but they did a turtle episode, which is
Right.
great.
Right. And the fact that they made it his white whale, I'm assuming they're making that kind of hey, it's his first big foe,
Yeah.
making that the tie-in to, this
Exactly.
being a significant.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Am I making sense? He was the first thing that Barry fought in the comics, so
Right.
he's the white whale, quote unquote, on the show.
Right.
I mean,
He's been out there. He was
Right.
there first.
right,
Is that where-
right.
Is that where you're going
Yeah,
with?
kind of.
Okay.
They're making him into a bigger deal than he would be
Yeah.
because if he was just a foe, what do we call it? A rogue of the week.
Right.
He wouldn't be that significant, but I think they made him into this mythos, the bigger mythos, because he's the turtle.
And I like the way they kind of built this up with his power
Hmm.
to make him a little more formidable.
Now, the only thing I didn't like about this is having them explain it all to me like I'm an idiot. Every time they start to talk about it,
Yeah.
Jay had to explain it to us.
I
Know what I'm saying?
well, have you been on Twitter? Because there are a lot of people that don't get this stuff.
Oh, okay, I understand.
We now live in the Idiocracy. Okay.
Oh man, that movie.
The movie Idiocracy by
Yeah.
Mike Judge is mandatory viewing at this point.
Yeah.
Who knew that movie turned out to be a documentary?
I know.
Because we're at this point, everything needs explained. People don't get it. They don't understand science. Like you
Yeah.
talk about time travel and their eyes glaze over.
I know. You know, there's a rapper that actually tweeted that he thought the world was flat and he's trying to
Yes. And then Neil deGrasse
scientists.
Tyson like smacked him down pretty good.
Yeah.
Which is great.
But there are people that are actually believing him at this point.
People believe crazy.
I know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's,
But
we
anyway,
live in a very anti-science world right now. It's very
Right.
frightening.
it is frightening. But I guess it just kind of made me grit my teeth when every time they said something that made just complete sense to me, and I felt like it seemed really
You
dumbed down
felt
already.
talked down to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I got it already, and then Jay was like, and this and this and this, and I was like, what? I already got it, Jay.
Apparently, we here at the Phantom Zone podcast are a little high on the curve compared to everybody else.
I'm middle of the curve, to be honest.
I never thought of myself as this Wile E. Coyote super genius.
Super genius. Yeah, no, I didn't
But
either.
apparently I am. Now,
Yeah, maybe.
I didn't used to be, but apparently compared to
Well, no, I get high scores on tests, but that's tests.
Yeah, exactly. Then that's a whole different that's not-
Testing is different,
test doesn't really measure
No, I know
intelligence.
how to take a
It just measures how well you take a test.
right?
It doesn't have nothing to do with intelligence.
I know how to take a test like
Yeah.
nobody's business.
Yeah, so
It's how to
so-
eliminate the wrong answers. That's
exactly. So the turtle ends up kidnapping Patty
right.
because he's like, I'm going to punish the Flash by taking
No.
away the girl who saved him at the museum.
Right. I did like how he typed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The if you, I'm presuming you've seen the episode, so you know that he's got these display cases,
Yeah.
and one of the display cases is his wife,
Right.
which ew,
Right.
kind of creepy.
No.
He's got her
very
like
creepy.
preserved in there,
Yes.
like a pickled, gherkin
Yeah.
or
It
something.
was just gross.
Yeah. So he's got her in there, and then just so happens I've got a spare.
Right.
And then, hey, Patty, I think you would look really great next to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, I like
For you.
to admire women in
Thanks.
glass cases.
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't have any kind of spandex outfit
Yeah,
to put in a glass case like all the other superheroes.
yeah.
Isn't that what-
Somebody gets to need like the Arrow Team Arrow needs to like give him one of their costume dummies.
all I'm
Costume
saying.
mannequins. Yeah.
Superheroes
Something.
always are putting their costumes in a glass case.
I don't know what's up with that. Or their dead sidekicks costumes. Bruce Wayne.
Batman.
Exactly. So-
There we are on the same wavelength.
Exactly. We're simpatico. So yeah, they track down the turtle. Barry's able to generate enough speed to move through the kinetic waves that the turtle creates so that he can knock the turtle unconscious. Because at least I thought they were going to do like the super speed punch or whatever
Right. Well, that's essentially what he does, isn't it?
to plow through the field, I guess.
Yeah. He does that. He just doesn't use his fist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He just
But he saves Patty.
forced himself to do it. Yeah. And he saves Patty. But in the personal side of things,
Hmm.
he has a nightmare about her being killed at the beginning of the episode.
Right. He has Zoom. He has this dream of Zoom grabbing Patty out of nowhere, like they're meeting for this date. And
Mhm.
Barry brings her flowers, and the flowers catch on fire because of the friction.
Right. Ouchie.
Which I thought you had an aura that prevented things like that, but okay.
Well, It doesn't work in the case of Felicity when Felicity's clothes catch on
I
fire.
know. So apparently the TV show does not have that friction aura that protects everybody from windburn.
Right.
But
Isn't that aura on everything? Like Superman's got
well,
an aura.
in the comics, yeah, it extends out from anything the Flash is holding.
Right.
Supposedly.
The time force or whatever.
Well, the
Yeah,
Speed Force, yeah. Yeah.
that thing. Speed force. Yeah.
But
Thank you.
you're welcome. But apparently that's not the case on the TV show. So
Yeah.
God forbid if the Flash really needs to run really fast and he's carrying you,
Right. So
Yes.
that's bad news.
because you'll turn into an extra crispy.
Well, and when he's in his regular clothes, he burns through his sneakers and stuff. So
Yeah. So it's not. Yeah.
bad. So, okay.
So anyway,
And so we're morphing into the Barry Patty not so happy together.
Yeah, so I think it's Barry's anxiety over Patty.
Yes, definitely. Well, I mean, that's 100%.
And he starts he's still waffling about like, well, should I tell her that I'm the Flash?
Yes.
Even though he's told practically everybody by now that he's the Flash.
And he really should tell her.
So yeah, he really should tell her. The one person he should tell, he doesn't.
Right.
He just like casually reveals his secret identity, or Cisco does, all over the place.
Right. But not Patty.
But not Patty.
Hasn't he learned?
You would think. You would think after Iris, you think it would have learned that thing, but apparently not.
N-O-P-E, nope.
Nope.
Nope. And he learns this one too late as well.
Yes. So, because what happens is that Patty's like, well, I'm not feeling this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, there's this pamphlet from Midway City University.
Yep.
Who want me say, hey, yeah, I got this like, oh, look, there's this great CSI program that they're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, screw you guys. I'm going to Midway City.
Right. Exactly. And she was accepted already.
Yep.
She just decides that, they've already gotten the guy who killed her father.
Right. Yeah, apparently my time is done here because
right.
the weather wizard is in jail, and of course he'll stay there.
No. But at the moment,
mm-hmm.
things aren't looking very good for her.
No.
Her relationship's gone a bit sour.
Yeah.
The stuff with Joe on the task force isn't going very well for her.
Right.
So why not go get some extra training?
And it's like, well, let's see. February sweeps are coming up. Maybe we want to get Barry back together with Iris.
Right. And in the comics, she's more of a CSI person anyway.
Yeah. So
that's good.
Right.
She's like a lab tech.
So it's possible we could see her again.
Right.
At some point.
As a lab tech or something like that.
Working with Barry in the lab.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what she is in the comics.
Yeah.
She's like his lab partner thing. But she's not a romantic interest for him either. So.
She was.
Kind of.
Right before they DC rebooted their universe into the New 52, she was involved with Barry.
And then, blam.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Not so much, yeah. So, next.
Outside Chance, Wally.
Wally West.
Oh, angst.
Wally West, I'm very concerned, is going to turn into the next Wesley Crusher.
Oh.
It's only been like an episode and a really tiny cameo the previous episode.
Right.
But the warning signs are there.
He's already so irritating.
He is.
It's over and over again. You're the worst detective ever.
And I'm not gonna fault Keenan Lonsdale, the guy who plays Wally West.
Those are the lines.
I'm gonna fault Brian Q. Miller on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the Flash showrunners, because Wally, I'm a huge Wally West fan.
Me too.
And I'm kind of
favorite Flash.
And I'm kind of wondering if this Wally is a little bit, like maybe it would have been better to go the traditional route a little bit more.
Maybe.
But
a more adult Wally.
But they go this New 52 route with Wally, where he's kind of obnoxious, and you want to just kind of like push him into traffic.
I don't mind Wally being a little obnoxious. He was always a little obnoxious.
Well, you can be a little sassy, but don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. And
this Wally is
a dick, basically.
Right.
At the moment. Now that could change. To be fair.
Does he not understand what happened with his mother? That his mother never told his father?
Yeah, he's giving Joe all this crap of like, well, you're such a great detective. You never detected that I was, he turns into comic book guy. And he's like, he's like, you never detected that I was around and you weren't there.
Well, no, because
nobody told me.
Left and no one told me. And what? Was I just supposed to check up on her every 2 seconds to make sure she wasn't pregnant with some unknown child that no one ever told me about?
And oh, by the way, your mom never told me about you either. So
so blame her a little bit.
Yeah, why don't you blame your mom for not telling me?
Right. And by the way, if I knew she was sick, maybe I'd help her out instead of you boosting cars. How about that?
Now, did she also tell you that, oh, by the way, my name, your father's name is Joe West, and he lives in Central City, and you could go hop on a bus and go visit
Right.
him?
Right. Yeah, I'd like to get that ironed out.
Yeah.
Let's find out what
What
got
went down?
told who.
Yeah, because right now, yeah, Wally is blaming Joe for everything.
Right.
Everything that's miserable in his life.
Right.
And he's like, well, I got to go like race cars so I can get money to pay for my mom's medical bills. Oh,
Right.
okay. Well, I'll help you with your medical bills. No.
Right. I know.
What?
Right.
So
How
so
about-
I do this right thing. I step up. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just
No, that's all right.
it gnaws at me, this.
How about Joe tells you that mommy left your sister alone in the kitchen while she tried to kill herself and almost set the house on fire.
Right.
And that's why she went away, because she was a little mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
And then she never told me about you. Duh.
And the fact that your mom traumatized your sister.
Right. Wow. I mean, it really bugs me. And I want Joe to just take him by the shoulders and go, listen to this.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happened. And it has nothing to do with how bad your mother is. I'm sure she's fine
Right.
as a person, but she got a disease, not just a physical one, but there's a mental thing happening too.
Right.
So we need to work through all this.
Yeah. And with any serious disease, of course, yeah, it's going to have issues and complications, but
Right. But
Yep.
no, Wally has to be just a huge
it's
dick.
all me. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
I
it.
cannot.
And I know I could rain on this for the next hour.
I want to
And
kill
I gotta
him.
move. I gotta move on.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
So what's the third
So
one?
the bonus is we'll
bonus.
meet again right at the end. Eobard comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. And it's not just Harrison Wells.
No.
Look at face, Eobard.
No,
Thawne.
it's Eobard.
It's classic Eobard.
Yeah,
Played by Matt Letcher.
that's right. It's real Eobard.
Yeah.
And this comes after Ed,
Yeah.
Tom Cavanaugh.
Right. I know what you did.
And well, the reason I say Ed is because one of the actresses from Ed is on Agent Carter.
Right.
Tom Cavanaugh has taken something out of Turtle and killed him,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden Eobard shows up.
Well, yeah. Well, Wells's whole plan is like, yeah, I'm gonna save you. Like he's saying, like his daughter Jessie.
Hmm. So what is
Yes.
he doing? Obviously, he did something to cause Eobard to show back up.
Well, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I think that just could have been a coincidence.
Really?
I don't think he did anything. Not yet. I mean, I could be
Or
wrong.
do you think Zoom did that?
That's a more likely scenario.
Okay.
That Zoom's
So Zoom did that
something.
in order to pull
Yeah, because he's like,
Flash.
yeah, the Reverse Flash shows up and he's like, well, where the hell am I? He asks Gideon, and we'll talk about Gideon a little later in the show.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this Gideon, he's he just merges from running through time somehow. We don't know, and he just doesn't know where he is. We don't really know where or when he is. Is he on
Well,
Earth?
it looks like
Is he on Earth 2? Is he on Earth 1?
right.
Is it the present day? Is it the past? We
Right.
don't
And
know.
it looks like Barry Street
Yeah. So
But
is he back there?
in
Yeah. Yeah,
which
who
is
knows?
in- who knows?
Yeah.
But it is definitely Eobard original, the original Eobard.
Classic Eobard.
That's right.
So yeah, no,
So does that mean Eddie will be back?
let's see, that's what I'm thinking.
Because Eobard wouldn't exist without Eddie.
And I think the whole thing with the John Wesley ship is Zoom theory, I think that could be a red herring.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it
And-
might be Eobard.
And I think Zoom could be Eddie.
Eddie?
That's yeah,
So Eddie from Earth 2.
right.
Interesting.
Or Eddie, when he was shot and got sucked into the whole like wormhole thing,
Oh,
that's
he
when he
becomes
became
Zoom.
Zoom. Yes. That's
so
my
good.
theory.
So good.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah,
That's,
we'll see.
that's a theory. That's speculating.
Big theories. Okay. So what do you give it?
I give this one 8.5 out of 10 bouquets of flowers on fire.
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 I give it 8 Vandervoort diamonds.
Laura Vandervoort, the old Supergirl.
Yes. Who is going to be appearing on the new Supergirl.
Yeah, so they're going to have the 3 Supergirls.
That's right.
That's what they should call that episode, the 3 Supergirls.
The 3 Supergirls.
Just like the 3 doctors on Doctor Who.
That's right. But I liked how they used that Vandervoort diamonds.
Yes.
Because it's obviously a reference to her.
We see what you did there.
Yeah, we do see what you did there.
Yeah.
And it's also like the synergy. Hey, look, she's going to be on that other show on the other network that
and all of a sudden, oh hey, there's been some talk of possibly crossing over Flash and Supergirl again.
Yeah, I know.
Just all of a sudden.
But it would be next season, so.
Or yeah, maybe season finale.
Maybe. I doubt it, but
I gotta think they want to do something to get interest.
Maybe.
Raise those ratings up.
Maybe.
Maybe we'll see.
I would love it.
Yeah, I think everybody would love it. Everybody wants to see Flash and Supergirl meet.
Sure.
Agent Carter.
Yes.
Now
201 and 202.
Yeah.
The Lady in the Lake. Written by Brant Engelstein. And directed by Lawrence Trilling. And I don't have...
Lawrence also directed the second episode, too.
Oh, okay. I don't have A, B, and C's for these because...
Yeah.
They're very story rich.
Yes, they are. Yeah, there is a lot of backstory in this. If it follows, well, they try to set it off on its own thing because they shift locations in this episode
from New York.
The second season from New York to LA.
You're right.
So, and we find out that the SSR, the Strategic Science Reserve or whatever, the Proto Shield, has opened an LA branch. So they're now a franchise, like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Right. Well, it's like the FBI has
I know,
branches.
But I'm just
like, no, that's fantastic. I like.
But
Kentucky Fried Agents.
Kentucky Fried Agents, very good, very good. I like that. So they decided, okay, hey, Daniel Souza from the New York branch can go out and he can head up the LA branch. And Jack Thompson stays behind and takes over for the deceased former chief at the New York branch.
Right.
And this one, we've kind of jumped ahead a little bit time-wise here to 1947. So we had a little bit of a time gap.
Yep.
So that everything could shake out.
Right.
They opened this episode, or the first episode, with a really great sequence where Dottie, who is I love this actress that plays Dottie, Bridget Regan.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I love her.
Fantastic in this role. She's basically like the proto Black Widow.
Yeah. Oh, she's great.
And she's really dangerous, and she's obviously going to be. She's essentially Peggy Carter's arch rival. So much so that she dresses like Peggy.
And it's kind of a nod to another scene where Peggy walks through like a bullpen, and she's got the red hat on and everything, and she looks almost the same walking through. Yeah. So much so that you think it might be her until.
Well, I was thinking that they were gonna Dottie was gonna stage this robbery and frame Peggy for it. And I'm like, oh no, here we go. Peggy's gonna get framed, and this is gonna be and I was dreading that. No, surprise.
No.
Because Dottie gets into the vault, and who's there? Peggy.
That's right.
Who proceeds to kick her ass.
That's right. And then nice hat.
Yeah,
I love that.
They have a great throwdown in the vault, great fight. These Agent Carter fights are always good.
Yeah, they're great.
And Peggy grabs a bag of coins and upsides that right up,
up
her head. So yeah, that's not just a concussion. That's like a serious head wound.
No.
You could cave in somebody's skull with one of those.
And
so maybe she just grazed her, but still.
I'm sorry.
And the bag shattered, so yeah.
Speaking of striking, upside the head, the thing that struck me right off the bat with Agent Carter is that it went from the complete sexism from season 1 into this, they've already accepted her as an agent now.
Except for Jack Thompson, who's like, okay, you ready to shove Peggy out to LA as fast as he can.
Yeah, but once she gets transferred, she's all up in everything. She's she's back with the people that have trusted her anyway. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's why they did that, right?
Yeah.
To get Thompson off of her back.
It gets Thompson off her back, but also they have this like, will they or won't they with Sousa and
Yeah.
Peggy. And Sousa, like Peggy shows up in L.A. because Sousa had requested an agent, and
Right.
Sousa's thinking, oh, a male agent,
Right.
and it's Peggy. So Sousa's is like, and there's this really bad awkwardness between
Yeah.
them.
Really bad.
So it's like, oh, Peggy, hi, nice to see you.
Well, he's happy that he gets her because he knows that she's an asset.
Right.
But
But yeah, there's this unresolved tension.
yeah.
Again, I don't know how.
UST.
Yeah, I don't know how else to.
No, that's it.
That's it.
UST.
Okay.
Plus, he's got a girl.
Is that a romance abbreviation?
Yeah.
Okay.
UST.
Okay.
Unresolved sexual tension.
Okay.
And he's got a girl too.
Okay. Yeah, he does. That's another thing that complicates the issue is that Susan now has a girlfriend who may become his engaged fiance.
Right.
But and Peggy kind of pieces this together. Sousa doesn't like say, "Oh, by the way, I've got this girlfriend."
Right.
He kind of keeps this under the wraps. Interestingly,
He really does, actually.
so it's like
Until
he's not just really like, "Oh yeah, I'm seeing this great girl now, and oh, it's all good," and so of course Peggy has to go. Well, I wish you the best, or
Mhm.
I'm happy for you. See how happy I am.
Right.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
In one episode, doesn't she like? I think it's the second one where she like forces her to come to dinner with them, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Awkward.
It is awkward.
Yeah.
So the what starts this whole mystery off of this season is this body that gets found in the middle of a lake. But here's the twist. It's a frozen lake in California
Mm-hmm.
during a heat wave.
Right.
So how did that happen?
Right. So they go, well, that's weird.
Did Captain Cold show up going,
Right.
hmm.
Well, probably not.
Yeah. Now I'm all warm and fuzzy inside.
We'll get back to Captain Cold later.
Yes, we will. So this all leads, like we get in, it sets off the mystery. So like Jarvis shows up. Turns out that Tony Stark has decided, or not Tony Stark, Howard Stark, Tony's father. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I caught myself. Howard wants to open a movie studio all of a sudden because why not?
Mhm.
Apparently, Howard Stark is now Howard Hughes.
Yes.
So
I did like his car.
which is probably why he's named Howard.
His car in the second episode. was
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. He's got this total like skeevy player car that like has like the full back seats and
Oh, it's
like
terrible.
it's like if you ever seen Family Guy and you know Quagmire's house
Yes.
where like bars revolve around out of nowhere but from bookcases and
Oh my
and
God.
like knockout drugs drop from the ceiling or whatever and
Yes.
it's like that
Yes.
in a car form.
Or if you want to go classic,
So apparently, yeah, Howard Stark is Quagmire.
it's what's his name? The guy from Pillow Talk. Have you ever seen the movie Pillow Talk?
No, I have not.
Hold on.
How about Herb Tarlick from WKRP in Cincinnati?
Did he have a pad like that?
Kinda, yeah, I think so. There's a little bit because he was this like skeezy sales guy.
Pillow Talk was a Rock Hudson Doris Day movie.
Okay.
They share a party line. Doris Day is a decorator,
hmm
and Rock Hudson's a player, and he hires her to redecorate his house, and it's like that. Like the bed comes out of the wall, and he's got
right.
a bar that flips around, and
Yeah,
all that stuff. And
It's-
she makes it so it's like 10 times worse.
right. It's like Sterling Archer's dream house.
Yes. All of that. I highly recommend Pillow Talk, by the way. It's cute.
so there's so they're researching this body,
Hmm.
and there's an autopsy that shows the body glows in the dark
Right.
because why not? It's
Sure.
so it's
Frozen and glowing in the
it's
dark.
luminescent. So yeah,
Right.
so they figure out that it's likely caused by this isodyne energy companies. It just happens they've got a particle accelerator.
Right.
So apparently they're going to turn out supervillains too, like just like on the Flash.
Right. Exactly.
So we're just Agent Carter's ripping out the Flash apparently.
Yeah. And I have some things to ask you about these when we get to them.
Okay. So
Because I'm not so up on the Marvel stuff as I am on the.
and there's like a really slow building subplot with Dottie. She's being interrogated by Jack.
Right.
And apparently you find out that she broke into that bank vault not to steal money. She wanted this pin, this lapel pin.
Right.
We find out in the second episode what the deal is with the lapel pin, which turns out to be the lapel pin of this group called this Council of Nine or whatever.
Right.
Which is probably, and I'm not certain, but I think it's this group called the Secret Empire.
All right.
That was a group in the Captain America comics, which was this like cabal behind like evil stuff going on, like, with Watergate and everything that were introduced in the 70s. It was like a whole Watergate thing.
The Court
Like
of Owls.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Court of Owls.
Okay.
That's a good modern reference in Batman.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the Batman's Court of Owls.
The Illuminati.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They're the people behind the scenes,
Okay.
the manipulators. So I think it's them.
Okay.
So apparently, for some reason, Dottie wants to hook up with these guys.
So she figures if she gets this lapel pin,
Maybe that would get her in.
she'll be able to get into their secret hideout.
Exactly. For some reason, we don't know yet.
Okay.
Okay. So, and there's some great stuff with Jarvis
Oh,
as we meet
So-
Jarvis's wife, Anna.
she is fantastic.
Yeah, she's played by Lottie Verbeek,
Mhm.
who, if you've seen the show Outlander,
Mm-hmm.
she's the witch on Outlander
And she's great on that too.
with a really bad receding hairline.
Yes.
And she kind of has that here but she covers it up. Like she
Right.
combs it over. It's a
Right.
comb over almost. But so I feel bad for her, but
In a good way.
I feel bad.
She's fantastic though.
She is great.
Yeah.
And she is a really interesting piece of work.
Yeah,
Anna Jarvis is.
she is.
There's this great scene in like the second episode where like Jarvis is working out. He's in like a onesie.
Sparring.
He's in a onesie.
Yeah.
Like he's in like the old timey like fisticuffs.
Bare knuckle boxing
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like from the 1920s
20s.
or like
Yeah.
yes. Hello, Jefferson. Shall we engage in fisticuffs today?
Yes, exactly.
Why, yes, Pemberton, we shall. Stuff like that.
It's the outfit that Mulligan has on.
All he needed was this like great handlebar mustache.
Yes, bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah.
Yes, Mulligan has on. I know you don't watch Parks and Rec,
Right.
but there's a poster that's always in the background when Ron is on the screen when he's in his office,
Mhm.
and it's Mulligan Steakhouse, and it's that guy with the handlebar mustache, and he's doing this,
Yeah.
Mulligan, and he's got the fists up and everything.
That's great.
Mulligan Steakhouse, yeah.
That's so funny. So anyway, yeah. So Jarvis tells Peggy like, come at me, bro.
Right.
Right? Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
Come at
Let's
me, bro.
bring it, right, bro?
And Peggy's like, no, I'm not gonna do it.
No,
Come at me, bro. Come on.
she got her color block outfit on.
Yeah.
It's
So Peggy's like, okay, I'll just Judah flip him, and that'll be it.
And he says, "No, trust me, I'm ready for you." And
So
and-
she
okay, sure.
she tries to flip him. He flips her
Right.
and pins her.
Yeah.
So it's like Jarvis got some skills.
I was quite happy.
Yeah. So it's
They
like
were like very close face wise when his wife walks out.
that's the really interesting part.
I know. And his
Because-
wife is
because-
so secure.
Yeah. Anna walks in and is just like, oh yes, he's been practicing that move or something like that.
Right. So
It's just not, you're like Jarvis is on top of Peggy to set this up.
right. So not only was it
He's got her pinned.
right, was it so secure in her relationship with him,
Right.
but it was also this kind of sly reference to the fact that she and Jarvis have been practicing the move, and that means
Right.
so this buttoned up Jarvis
They've got they've got little secrets in their closet.
has been putting the moves on his wife pretty hard.
It's like, okay, so when did the Jarvises break out the S&M room?
Right? Exactly.
The dungeon. Oh yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Agent Carter, how would you like to come down to our dungeon?
Why, I'd like that very much, Jarvis.
Fabulous. I'll arrange for Anna to bring us some iced tea.
Shall we bring the flamingo?
Why, of
No.
course, he needs to watch.
That's horrible. I hate flamingo. And by the way, if you've ever been near a flamingo, they smell horrible.
We apologize. We're just really twisted people.
We are.
We should just we should just withdraw this. Okay.
No, that was funny.
It was funny.
It was.
All right.
It's funny to think about English people having sex.
Well, and apparently really aggressive, interesting sex.
Yes, it is.
But anyway.
Yeah, I
So
think that was a very interesting, like triple layered conversation they had there.
it is. So at this facility, Isodyne,
Hmm.
there's this guy named Wilkes.
Yes, the scientist.
Yeah, Jason Wilkes. And interestingly, in 1947, an African American scientist.
There were.
I know this, but and Wilkes makes a comment about this, that he's kind of loyal to Isodyne because obviously, like, black scientists were in very high demand in 1947.
Right.
So they gave him a job. So he's kind of appreciative of that.
Right. I agree. Yeah. I like the dynamic with that.
Yeah.
There were a lot of high level African Americans, but they weren't usually hired by white businesses.
Right.
They were usually contained to their own businesses, which is awful.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we're seeing that dynamic that's true to life in this, which I love.
Right.
Last season, it was mostly sexism,
Mm-hmm.
which bothered me. But again, it was,
So
within-
maybe racism is the theme this season.
I'm guessing so. And there were several
Yeah.
different instances of that.
Well,
The fact that they also showed the other side of it with her getting so upset.
yeah. There's a scene to kind of explain what Karen's talking about here. There's a scene in the second episode, I believe,
Hmm.
where Wilkes and Peggy, they go into this, like, there's like a diner or something,
I think it's a bakery.
a bakery,
Because they
something
have
like.
a croissant.
Yeah, so they're looking for like some change for the phone or something.
Right. And he
There's a phone booth outside,
right,
and they need to use the phone.
right.
So the guy in there is like, black guy with white woman.
Right.
Like,
He's already looking all skeptical.
yeah, 1947. Keep this in mind, 1947. So yeah, he's giving her the beady eye.
Yeah. He's not fond of them coming in at all.
Oh no, and he even refers to Wilkes as boy.
Right. Well, she says, we need some change to make a call.
Right.
And then he
He's
says,
like, you got to buy something.
right. And he says, what do you mean we got to buy something? And he goes, I'm not talking to you, boy.
Yeah.
And she says, don't call him boy. And I'm not going to buy. And then the next scene you see he's eating something
Yeah.
out of the restaurant
Right.
because he said, don't worry about it. Just buy something.
Yeah.
And then he says,
Peggy's ready to unload on this guy.
yeah.
Rightfully so, but
He just says, look, this is how it is.
Yeah.
Just buy something.
just keep your head down and
Take the easy way out. Yeah. But then, as well as that scene, we also get the little after scene after she makes the phone call.
Yes.
Well, not just the kissing.
Okay.
There's kissing.
Because I was waiting for the porn music on that one.
I'll play the porn music in a second. But after the kissing, he says, that guy might have been a hardcore racist, but he sure does make a good pastry.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah. And she takes it out of his hand and eats a bite and throws it as hard as she can. She's just so angry with him that his pastry just isn't good either.
Yeah.
She's so angry at him. And then comes the porn music with the, she's hiding
Yeah.
from the car, and it just turns out to be another patron.
And they have to hide in the booth together because a
Right.
car comes by.
Right,
And of course they're closed, like two people in a phone booth.
right,
So
exactly.
yeah.
So, and his back is to the diner, pastry place, whatever.
And
And
unlike Carl and Enid in the tree,
right,
something actually happens here.
right.
Peggy and Wilkes is like, oh yeah, we'll get a
Yeah.
little smoochy.
They get a little smoochy. Although, what happens is they're hiding from whoever it is, but it turns out not to be a threat.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "Oh, it looks like we're safe," and then he kisses her, and then she kisses him, and she says, "So are you thinking what I'm thinking?" It's like one of those pinking the brain things.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he says, "Yeah, I am," and she says, "We need to go hotwire that car," and he says, "Yeah, that's what
So
I'm thinking."
So Peggy confronts racism, makes out with a black guy, steals a car.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I
She's
love her.
fantastic. Yeah, she's great.
I love her.
Yep.
She has no prejudices.
Which is good.
I love
Which
her.
is one of the great things about Peggy Carter as a character.
I know, and almost no boundaries.
This is very progressive.
Yeah, I love her.
Yeah, it's great.
And I'm guessing we're just talking about both episodes as one.
Yeah, we might as well because
Yeah.
they aired back to back. So
Yeah.
And now, one of the things they're trying to get, there's this container of interestingly shape-shifting black fluid goo.
Zero matter, they're
So
calling
they call it zero matter, but it looks an awful lot like gravitonium from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
This is what I was going to ask you about.
It looked a lot like gravitonium.
Okay, so those people get pulled through it too in the little
Yeah,
bitty
yeah,
shifter.
yeah. It's that whole.
Do you think that? See, now I thought I was being stupid because they're calling it zero.
No, I think it's just that's the earlier 1947 name for it.
Okay.
And then somehow it becomes gravitonium
Okay.
in the future.
And when Cliff,
But I think it's the same stuff.
okay, Cliff goes into the bar to meet with his
Right.
board
Yeah.
right before they call off the zero matter experiments.
Yep.
And when he goes into the bar, he walks underneath a big logo, and the logo looks like that hybrid
Hydra.
Hydra NASA sort of.
Yeah, it's the whole the octopus.
Right. But it's not any of the ones that we've seen. It's like one of those in between.
Yeah, it's a transitional thing.
Right.
Or like it's the prototype.
Right. So I'm not
It
reading
hints.
stuff into this. This is
No.
okay.
It's like blatantly hinting that Hydra is being made
starting
form.
here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah, because
Good.
remember, like there was Hydra in Captain America: The First Avenger
Right.
when you had the Red Skull
Sure.
because he forms his little offshoot group.
I just want to make sure they're doing it in this show.
But yeah, I think they're going to try to
So-
introduce Hydra on Agent Carter now.
Okay, so this is where they're
Which is
going to
cool.
maybe show us that this black matter has been around
Yeah.
on Earth for a long time.
Right.
Okay.
And now, unfortunately, there's a woman by the name of Whitney Frost,
Yeah.
Which-
Cliff's-
which is a
Clive.
character that should be very familiar to Iron Man fans of the comics, who is the supervillain Madame Mask.
Yeah. But she's not going to wear a mask on this, they've said.
Well, which is kind of silly,
I know.
but
But they
anyway,
showed that she's.
but that's what they've done here is that they've based this character off of Madame Mask, so it's like Madame Mask set in 1947.
Right. So what's going to happen to her is that she's transformed by this stuff. And
Yeah.
so her mask is going to be human.
Right, because
Okay.
there's a struggle. The container breaks. There's like an explosion, and Wilkes apparently doesn't make it out. Peggy's upset.
I want Wilkes to survive, though.
I'm thinking he will be, because standard rule of comic books:
If you don't see a body,
and even then,
right? You
they're
still right.
they're not dead.
See, now he might be transformed like
We may see him later.
Chicky.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Whitney, who tried to get that zero matter from Wilkes, the last thing we get in the second episode is that she's crying behind a mirror because she's an actress that's aging,
Right.
and she's all about trying to preserve her looks.
And now she's
She's got this chunk of zero matter embedded in her forehead.
right. So now what's going to happen?
Dun dun dun.
Sorry. Hold on. There we go.
So
I have a new soundboard. Sorry, I have to find things.
that's okay. So so we got 2 episodes here. First episode, would you rate it?
Oh, and I do want to mention a couple little things.
Okay,
Sorry.
go ahead. Sorry.
In the first episode, we get a comedian, Matt Bronger, as the lab tech Samberly.
Yeah.
I dig Matt Bronger very much.
Who obviously doesn't want to, he didn't want to come into work today.
Right, he did not. He had the flop.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Right, exactly. And then in the second episode, we have one half of the Sklar brothers,
Yeah.
Randy Sklar.
Are they allowed to act in separately?
Yes, they are.
Because I thought they were contractually obligated to take both at the.
I would think that they should get Patton Oswalt to do this role and the Sklar brothers to do his role.
Yeah, it's Koenig. Yeah, that's the Koenig
brothers. Yeah.
LMDs.
Yeah. But Randy Sklar was the director, Kenneth, on the second episode. So, and next week we're going to get. Oh, I had his name too. Darn it!
You had it.
I did. Darn it. Ken Marino will be on next week.
Oh, yeah, from the state. And
that's right.
Also from Children's Hospital.
And also from Party Down.
Yeah, he's a hilarious guy.
Yeah, he's going to be on more than one episode, actually. Yep. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that. If you like comedians, it looks like they're going to be peppered through these episodes. So anyway, 201, The Lady in the Lake. My score is 8 gross, squishy avocados. And I am from California. My mother does not understand why I don't like avocados, but I hate them more than life itself.
I don't blame you. I don't like them either.
They're disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. My wife loves them. Lori loves them.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And they're full of fat. So I say to my mother, it's a good thing I don't like them, right?
Right. And second episode?
I gave it 8 unitards.
Nice. Yeah.
And I emphasized the tards.
And then all of a sudden, that horrible image is burned back into my
I know, right? Bare-fisted boxing unitards.
And then they go down to the dungeon. The Stark Dungeon.
That's right.
All right. So my ratings for these episodes. Episode 1, or 201, Lady in the Lake, I give it 8.5 out of 10. Bodies in a Block of Ice.
Correct.
And episode 2, A View in the Dark, I give it 8.5. Shattered Containers of Zero Matter.
That was a really good special effect, though. The thing shattering and it whooshing out.
Yep.
It was kind of a black tinge.
Yes.
It was very cool looking, I thought.
Yep.
Okay, Arrow.
Season
4, episode 10.
Right.
Blood Debts.
Right.
Written by Oscar Balderrama and Sarah Tarkoff.
Mm-hmm.
Directed by Jesse Warren.
All right. Gotta get through these last 2.
These are not the best story titles ever, but
no, it's not a whole lot of creativity in this one.
No. For the A story, I had Anarchy Machine.
Mm-hmm.
That was not good. Or
I would have gone with Anarchy, spelled with a KY.
Yeah.
In the U.S.
Okay.
Instead Anarchy in the UK.
Okay.
Sex Pistols reference.
I also had Mother of Anarchy instead of Son of Anarchy for Thea.
Okay.
And then also along with that is Mother and Child and Dark Reunion because that goes along. So
Right.
mother and child reunion.
Got it.
And then the B story is bros before foes.
Nice. I like that.
Thank you. I like that one.
I like that
And
one
then
too.
C story would be speedy dating. Like speed dating. And then the bonus is the stupid flashback. And I just put Horace Glow for that, because it's just the worst.
Right.
I didn't care about a title for that. Horace Glow, whatever.
So this episode obviously is the return of Alexander Calvert as Anarchy,
Yep.
who we've already met, so we get a returning supervillain.
Okay, what is the deal with this show and Batman villains?
I don't know, but apparently Arrow really wants to be Batman.
Right?
I mean, we're getting more Batman villains here than on Gotham.
I know. Doesn't Green Arrow have enough villains?
I'm still waiting for a decent Count and Vertigo on
Right.
Arrow. We've
Right.
had two of them. They both suck. So bring in a third and get it right.
Right.
That's my feeling.
I agree.
But there's, like you could bring back Deathstroke, which
Well,
apparently
they want Deathstroke to come back.
yeah,
So
yeah, Stephen Amell wants Deathstroke to come back, and I
Right.
totally agree
I
because
agree
then
too.
but yeah, there's plenty of others. It seems like Arrow has to go like, okay, we can't come up with enough Green Arrow villains. So,
So let's
we're
just
so,
borrow-
so we're gonna raid Batman villains and Titans villains.
Right. Let's just borrow everything from Batman.
Yeah.
It's just
There's plenty of other characters they could use.
Ra's al Ghul and Anarchy are just
Yeah. Or
huge
why not
Batman.
use Justice League villains? Like Amos Fortune would be a great
right.
Green Arrow villain.
I keep waiting for Joker to show up.
Yeah. Something. I know. The Riddler.
The Riddler.
Yeah.
Egghead.
Yeah. Let's not go that far. Unless you're gonna dig Vincent Price up from the dead to play Egghead.
King Tut.
Egghead does the Thriller dance.
I know.
Darkness,
terrible.
darkness falls across the land. All right, sorry.
Oh, that was terrible.
All right, all right.
Just in case you guys don't know, Vincent Price played it.
Egghead on the Batman 1960s TV show.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah. So
Anarchy.
so major camp in that one. Let's
Yes,
just say.
huge.
And that's saying something for Batman.
So Thea made Anarchy. Anarchy's back.
Yes. So yeah, Thea gets her own kind of supervillain,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, I want to know what is up with Anarchy's really lame mask.
I don't know. It's terrible,
In
right?
the comics, he has this like cool like golden mask, and he wears this big red hat,
Right.
and his looks all
He's
imposing.
cool
It
looking.
looks really cool looking. Not so much here.
No, it's
No,
terrible.
No,
here.
it's just like, okay, let's go down to Party City, and we're gonna buy like the $5 plastic mask off the shelf that has the little rubber band string in the back, right?
Right.
And that's my costume.
No,
How
no, it looks-
lame is that?
You know what it looks like to me? It looks like that stuff Gak.
Yeah,
Do you remember that
right.
from
Yeah,
when
yeah,
Nickelodeon had
Yeah. The roll. It's like it's slime.
Right.
You could, yeah.
that they just pressed on his face
Right.
and dried it
Yeah.
with a hairdryer.
Yeah. I think it was like, okay, we want to go for the V for Vendetta look with the Guy Fawkes mask, but we don't want to do anything nearly that cool.
Right.
So we're going to go really cheap
Right.
because we got to pay for Legends of Tomorrow or something.
It was awful.
So like spend the $5 and we got the mask, and it's just
It was just awful.
this is a returning supervillain. At least give him a bit of an
I know.
upgrade. But no, I felt
It
really
was-
bad.
I
I felt really bad for Alexander Calvert that's got to wear that stupid thing.
Right. I did too.
All right.
But
So ran over.
right. Well, we don't have to talk about him too much because his storyline was not so much about Thea, but them using him to get to Dark.
Yeah. The whole thing is centered around, okay, we got to get revenge on Damien Dark because he and his hired goons shot Felicity,
Right.
and we find out what happened to Felicity after the getting shot. Yeah.
Come on.
And
Yeah.
sadly, she's still alive.
Hey, I like Felicity, but
I would like her less alive.
Less alive? No, I don't want her dead. I don't want her dead.
Not the actress, the character.
I don't want the character dead either.
Oh,
I think she has usage.
well, as we find out, Felicity apparently lives.
Yeah, she's not
because-
the one in the grave.
Yeah, because we get more of the gravesite mystery. I'm kind of all over the place here, but yeah, we open the show with the gravesite mystery. Barry's there, although it's now 4 months until, so the clock's
Right.
ticking.
Right? Which
Counting,
means it's been 2 months since the last time we've seen.
counting down to May sweeps,
Right?
and because it's January, right? So
Yeah.
it's May sweep. So and at the end of the episode, we see Oliver getting into a limo at that cemetery, and Felicity's inside.
Right.
So damn.
And we don't see whether she has walked to the car.
No, because she's sitting in there. But
Right.
but apparently she's still alive. So
And she is
she's not the one.
livid.
So she's not the one in the grave. Yeah, she's upset. And then Oliver vows to her that he's gonna kill that son of a bitch.
Right. Him.
Son of a bitch implies a him.
Right.
So presumably Damien Dark, right?
Right. Well, he says him at the gravesite with Barry.
Yeah. So
So it's a him.
yeah. But
And I'm guessing
so you can cross Felicity off your list of suspects.
it's not Oliver, it's not Barry, it's not Felicity.
But so that leaves in my mind John Diggle
Uh-huh.
or Thea.
Nope. Neither.
Neither?
Nope.
You know who it is.
Well, I don't know, but I'm guessing, and I'm willing to
Okay.
bet.
All right. So who are your
99%.
suspects? Those are my
It's
suspects.
Mom.
Felicity's mom?
Yes.
Hmm.
What else would she be that mad about?
Donna. Well, she'd be upset about Diggle.
Yes, but like that?
Yeah. Diggle's her
It's her
bro.
mom. Why else would her mom be there this season?
Maybe.
Come on.
Maybe. I thought that just
And
her
Barry
mom was.
would be there for Felicity's mom, but not have to show up for Felicity's mom.
But see, Barry doesn't know Felicity's mom.
But he loves Felicity.
That's a good argument.
He'd want to be there to.
But see, I
trust
thought that
Felicity.
because Barry knows Diggle,
Yes, I know.
he would be
but
there for Diggle.
He would definitely be there for Diggle.
Yeah, and he would
But
be there
for
for Thea because
mom-
she's Oliver's sister.
Right. But for Felicity's mom, he wouldn't feel that pressing need to be there for her mom, but he'd want to be there for Felicity.
It's an interesting theory.
Mm-hmm.
I will not discount it. It's a good, valid theory.
I think it's her. I really do.
All right, we'll see.
Okay.
To be continued.
Plus, it's a good way to cop out and not kill off a major player from the show.
Right. Okay.
Anyway.
We'll see. All right. Anyway, moving on.
Mhm.
So they're trying to track down Damien Dark. Which would you want to cover first? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
They're trying to track him down.
Trying to track him down. They only find like several dead ghost soldiers and the anarchy symbol painted in blood. So it's like, oh, there's the anarchy symbol. I guess anarchy's back,
Right.
right?
And the fact that he's around the dead ghosts,
Yeah.
that means that he knows where Dark is.
Yeah.
Right? How are they tying that together?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't
But there
know.
is some sort of tie that he knows where
Yeah.
Dark is.
Now, everybody's trying to get Oliver to go to the hospital
Right.
to see Felicity. So he goes to the hospital. He runs into Donna,
Right.
who's
Mhm.
like, where the hell have you been?
Ding, 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 ding.
Right?
ding.
Yeah.
Reminder that she's on the show
Right.
and becoming intertwined with
Okay.
the rest
All
of
right. All right. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
She's dating
Maybe.
the Lance.
Lance, maybe.
Mm,
Maybe. We'll see.
okay.
I'm not blowing you off here.
I know you're not.
Okay. It's a valid theory. I'll give you credit. So she tells him that, guess what? Felicity's paralyzed.
Yep. But she's
So
going to have some other surgery and all this other stuff,
yeah,
right?
well, she's gonna have surgery, but yeah.
But who
Well,
knows?
no, they did say, like, Donna does say that. Well, Oliver asked, like, what about second opinion? And Donna said that is the second opinion.
Right. Right.
So as far as we know, it's permanent.
Right. As far as we know.
As far as we know, because hey, a little dip in a Lazarus pit, fix her right up.
Or raise micro nanobots.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
yeah.
So there's plenty of ways they can get
Ray
around
would
this.
definitely donate some of those.
Right. But hey, he's in 1975 right now.
Come
So
on.
I know. So Oliver, as he's like about to go see Felicity, of course, he looks at the news on the TV.
Mm-hmm. Anarchy taken into custody.
Whoa, look at the time. Gotta go.
Yeah. But Felicity tells him to go too.
No, this is before he sees
Oh,
her.
that's before that. Okay.
Yeah, because
Okay.
so he was gonna go see her, and then squealed and peeled out. And is like,
Wish I had that sound effect.
I know. Goes after Anarchy,
Right.
and because what he does, he's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna break Anarchy out of police custody.
Mm-hmm. It's actually a good plan.
It attacks a Texas police transport,
Mm-hmm.
so making friends with the cops again,
Well,
and they decide to use Anarchy as a way to track him and find Damien Dark.
right.
Now, afterwards, he goes back to the Arrow Cave
Right.
3.0, and Laurel gives him all kinds of crap. He's like, dude, what happens when this is going to go completely
Sideways. Yeah,
sideways? Because you know it will.
it does.
Have you watched this show? Of course it's going to go horribly wrong,
Have you watched this show?
right? So it does go horribly wrong
Have you watched the show? And then he goes,
because they end up.
"What's the deal with all the flashbacks? They're terrible."
And why are there are costumes on the mannequins? What's up with that?
Right?
But the signal.
Sorry.
But of course, they lose the signal.
Yes.
So, bum, 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 bum.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I even got rid of the hissing on that sound effect.
I think I'm rolling. Am I rolling?
Yeah.
All right. So,
It's rolling. And it ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough,
dun, dun, dun,
Tough gets
pause. Yeah. Gotta wait for the Animal House pause.
I know.
I know what you're doing there. All right. So Oliver finally decides to go visit Felicity.
Right.
She wakes up apparently after her surgery. She gives Oliver, to her credit, Felicity gives Oliver like, hey, you didn't ask for this, so if you want out of the engagement, I would totally understand.
And he mans up.
He mans up, does the right thing. He says, nope, I'm in this for you.
Mhm.
So I'm paraphrasing, but he puts the engagement ring, which of course they had to take off because she went into surgery.
Right. Puts it on her finger. Yeah.
Don't want any orderlies with sticky fingers.
That's right.
And I know this is a case because my wedding ring when I went into surgery was taken off. So,
Oh,
yep. No, they didn't steal it.
okay, good.
No.
just-
I just meant that they took it
I was
off.
going to say.
No.
Oh, yeah. Everything that's loose gets taken off.
Yeah, so it's just policy.
Although, honestly,
Yeah.
you should not have it on at all when you're in the hospital.
No, because your hands could swell.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not.
So he should not be putting it back on her finger, but whatever.
I think it's symbolic, maybe.
Hand wave. Yeah,
It's,
again.
it's drama. It's a
Yeah.
drama, remember?
I know.
So, okay, so we had that. We had
It
some.
says, is he still alive? Then go.
Yeah, so we had the stupid flashbacks.
Dumb.
Yeah. Conklin, redneck Conklin guy, he presents Oliver as a traitor and is like, hey, I found some maps. But Conklin gets to torture Oliver as a result.
Mm-hmm.
But then, as he's torturing Oliver, wannabe Baron Blitzkrieg Baron Ryder,
Right.
notices that there's John Constantine's magical tattoo glowing on Oliver's abs,
As well as the orb.
as well as the orb, of Horus.
They're
Yep.
both glowing. Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
And he
so-
says,
so he's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
right. We might need that.
Yeah, so they make a deal. Oliver makes a deal. He says, okay, in exchange for Tatiana's life, I will help you
Right.
pursue your evil plans.
Right.
So that's it.
Exactly.
That's the flashback. That's all you.
That's the whole flashback. Don't worry about
We
that.
don't care about anything else. We didn't barely cared about that.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't care about any of it except for that.
Yeah. So Anarchy goes after Damien Dark's family
Mm-hmm.
because he wants revenge.
Right.
Team Arrow, of course, shows up and saves them, but Anarchy escapes
Right.
after a little confrontation with Thea.
Right.
Where he
Because Thea and Anarchy are
Yep, they're the enemies.
scarlet enemies.
Yeah. So so Anarchy could show off his pretty facial scar.
Right.
Yeah. So
But-
as Rip,
him.
so because Damien Dark's such a wonderful guy, he decides to repay Oliver for saving his family by granting him time to spend with his own family before Damien Dark will kill him.
Right. And then his wife is all
Gee,
like,
thanks. Yeah. 'cause
why
that-
didn't you kill him right now?
Yeah, because they meet later, and yeah, Dark's wife is apparently even more hardcore than Damien Dark. She's
Super
like,
hardcore.
she's like, you should have like killed his punk ass.
Right.
And
Genesis isn't ready yet.
Genesis? Genesis is planet forbidden. How can you be deaf with ears like that? Sorry, Star Trek 3 reference.
Yes.
Okay,
Nice.
thank you. I did
Come on.
any excuse to do McCoy,
I know.
my favorite character. So Dark tells his family that Anarchy will never hurt them again, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, but anyway.
Which she probably won't.
And that's pretty much the episode.
And then Bros Before Foes.
Oh, yeah, Bros Before.
Stupid Lila always playing the devil's advocate, even though she has no idea how dangerous his brother actually might be.
Yep. And then Diggle beats on his brother.
Right. Instead of actually listening to Lila's advice.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's really it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you give it?
I give this one 8 out of 10 cheap ass plastic facial masks.
I'm actually going to downgrade mine after talking about it.
It is pretty
I
bad.
gave it 8.
Yeah.
I
You
think
gonna
I'm
go 7.5?
No, I'm going to go down to a 7.
Ooh.
And I think it's mostly just because it's just yeah.
Yeah, this was
Oh,
not
and
a great.
that's the whole speed dating thing with Thea and the dating back and forth with the manager dude.
Oh yeah, well she dropped her. They broke up
Dropped
because
him.
she's like, I've got anger management issues. I got to resolve these.
Oh, and I can work through it all within the space of a day.
And dude should have been like, didn't you kill a guy?
Right. And dude should have been like,
Shouldn't I be calling the cops right now?
we broke up, all right?
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, so 7, and I know I'm beating this with the dead horse because we talked about it, but I wrote this before we talked about it. 7, coming down Main Street, dead moms.
Okay. Nice.
Because it's her. I just know it's her.
Okay. Really, go ahead.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow. We got to get through this really quick.
Season 1, Episode 1, Pilot Part 1, written by Greg Berlanti, Mark Guggenheim, Andrew Kreisberg, and Phil Klemmer.
Yep.
Directed by Glenn Winter.
Yes.
A story, Rip
now-
Roaring Adventure. B story, A Savage Act.
Yep.
C story, Youth, son/younger half saves the day.
Right. So we start off with the year 2166, where Vandal Savages completely conquered Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And to save humanity, Time Master Rip Hunter travels back in time, played by Arthur Darvill, I might add, who is
Oh, he's so good.
Rory on Doctor Who. So
See Rip Roaring
yeah,
Adventure.
I see what you did there.
Thank
Yes, I got it. Very clever.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
So he travels back to 2016, Back to the Future, to gather a group of superheroes and supervillains to team up to stop Savage.
I think it's pretty cool that he picks them all from the same year.
Yeah. And yeah.
So
Why
we'll
did-
know
why
them
did-
all.
Why didn't he just like cherry pick throughout time? But
Right.
he's got a time machine.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe he's in a hurry. I don't know.
He has a time machine.
But Rip.
How could he be in a hurry?
But I know. It does make sense. Rip blows some serious smoke up their butts
Yeah.
by calling them legends and like, you guys are going to be really important.
Ugh.
But tell you what, once you just, I want your help, but once you go take the day to think it over and come back.
Right.
Okay. To his credit, he doesn't just like kidnap him or something.
Right. Well,
So-
it is a time machine.
Exactly.
So, you know.
So anyway,
Yeah.
he's got time to kill.
Right.
But so Ray consults with Oliver so we can get Stephen Amell to cameo in the pilot.
Right.
Hawkman and Hawkgirl decide to fight it out in their apartment with wings.
Right.
So
no
wings don't work really well in an apartment.
no getting the deposit back on that.
So basically, yeah, Hawkman's like, I want to go. Hawkgirl's like, I don't want to go. Okay, we fight. Whoever wins, that's what we do. So apparently Hawkman kicked Hawkgirl's ass.
Right.
Won the fight because they go. Laurel, so we could work in Black Canary cameo.
That was the fight scene.
I thought you were heading to Laurel. That's a whole
No.
that's a whole other train
No, sorry.
of thought there.
So Laurel and
Laurel encourages Sarah to go as White Canary while they're sparring with one another. That's where I thought you were going.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, that's sisters. That's gross.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you got like here's your new White Canary costume. So why don't you go off into time and space?
Sure. Here you go.
You know, I'm tired of you being alive and all.
And Cisco just happened to make you a new outfit.
Yeah, just conveniently. Because I know people.
Yeah.
She's name dropping Cisco. Captain Cold, of course, just wants the chance to commit some more crimes.
Right. And Heatwave, of course.
And Heatwave does whatever Captain Cold wants.
And I couldn't figure out how they were going to get Captain Cold and Heatwave into the show. And that was brilliant.
Yeah.
We can go back to when they didn't fingerprint people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they didn't have DNA evidence.
Right. And we can get away with anything.
Perfect.
Now, Professor Stein is all about going, but his partner, Jax. Jefferson Jackson, his partner with Firestorm, does not want to go. He's like, oh, hell no. So, in a really disturbing turn of events, Professor Stein roofies
him.
Jax. Like all of a sudden, Professor Stein becomes Bill Cosby.
I know, right?
And knocks out Jax and kidnaps him aboard the time ship. So,
real borderline, dude.
Yeah, it's like, I really want to go, and I need you. No, you don't want to go. You're going.
Too bad.
Too bad. Glug, 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 thud.
Yeah, and I love how when he gets there to the ship and everything, he just assumes someone else is going to carry him on board. He just goes, hey, can you pick him up? Bring him on board.
Yeah, it's
dumb.
Yep. All right, so with everybody finally together, Rip introduces the team to his ship, the Wave Rider, which is a nice little nod to time-traveling hero Wave Rider. Who works with the Time Masters, and they're on board artificial intelligence Gideon.
Yep.
Who, yes, it's that same Gideon.
Yep.
Although voiced by a different actress.
I know, it was weird.
But apparently, this is like the Gideon from the future. So
okay.
I don't know. But remember, this is what Barry Allen invents someday.
But that Gideon's from the future too.
That Gideon's from the future. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they have like different voice options.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's like Siri. How you can
Siri. Pick a voice. So yeah.
Okay.
So no one, even Gideon, can find Savage. So they go back to
they can't pinpoint him.
Yeah, they can't pinpoint him because apparently he's on the down low.
Right.
So they go back to 1975 to talk to this guy named Professor Boardman, who is a leading expert on Vandal Savage.
Mm-hmm.
The
hint, man is in his name.
Yeah. The team splits up. White Canary goes off with Captain Cold and Heatwave to get into a bar fight.
That's right.
Jax gets all pissy, stays behind in the ship, and the rest find Boardman.
Right.
And while providing info on Vandal Savage, Boardman reveals, oh, by the way, I'm the son of Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Right.
From one of your past lives.
Oh, that was heart-wrenching.
And Savage murdered my parents when he was 10 years old.
Right.
So Vandal Savage, kind of a douche. Professor Stein ends up getting this headache because Jax is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Firestorm sense tingling.
That's right.
And it turns out there's this bounty hunter named Kronos, which was an Atom villain.
Mm-hmm. which is cool because
what's
Adam's
that?
on the show.
Yeah, exactly. So they're apparently they will become arch enemies on the show.
Mhm.
I'm presuming. It's attacking Rip's ship, and the their team regroups. And they fight off Kronos and escape, but not before Professor Boardman gets wounded and dies.
But he was going to die anyway.
Yes. So
So
yeah,
time usually finds a way, they say.
yeah, exactly.
It's just that he happened to die
It was a fixed point in time.
with his parents.
Yep.
Instead of alone.
So at least he didn't die alone. So that's good.
Right. Well, everyone dies alone.
Yeah.
Sad.
We're getting all philosophical now.
I know.
All right.
It's terrible, right?
Let's try and keep these things upbeat.
I do like that. Is it Captain Cold that calls him Boba Fett, Kronos?
Yes, yes. There's lots of Star Wars references.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Kendra and Sarah end up punching Rip Hunter in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently that's become a thing.
I like that.
So poor.
Well, Rip isn't exactly upfront with them.
No, because he ends up having to reveal that, oh, by the way, that bounty hunter Kronos is after me because I stole the Wave Rider.
Right. Well, when he took the Wave Rider, which was his ship.
Yeah.
But when he took it without...
So I work for this group called the Time Masters, and I stole a time ship and ran away against their wishes. I became an exile from my own people. Who does that remind me of? I'm sure it's on the tip of my brain.
Who does it?
Yeah.
Who
would that remind you?
Who does it?
Maybe I should see a doctor about this.
Now, yes, Doctor Who.
Yeah, who should I see? Yeah, exactly. It's So basically, it's like
that ship did look bigger on the inside.
So Legends of Tomorrow is basically like if the DC universe
got shoved inside
no. So if the DC universe roofied Doctor Who and they had a baby, this would be the baby.
Yes, it would be. And they got shoved inside a TARDIS shaped like Boba Fett's ship.
Exactly. So
Scout One. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name of the ship.
Yeah, that's very nice. I couldn't think of it either. So Rip, turns out, left the Time Masters after they refused to go after Savage, and Rip completely lied about how important the team is.
Right. In fact, it was the opposite of them being legends.
Yeah, it was deliberate because it's like, oh, I chose you because you're completely unimportant in history.
Right.
So that way you can bring Savage down and not damage the timeline.
Right. You're so inconceivably...
Now, just before everybody's ready to kick Rip Hunter's ass, he explains that he wants revenge on Vandal Savage because they murdered his wife and son Jonas, who is this little boy we saw at the beginning of the episode.
Right.
And
he dumped 2 feet of snow on me.
Yes. Stupid Vandal Savage.
No, Jonas.
Oh, Jonas. Oh, yeah, Jonas. Right. Sorry.
I'm bringing it back around.
Nice. Full circle.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's good.
That's why Vandal killed him.
So even though apparently the council, like the High Council of Time Lords, just the Council of
Time Masters.
Discouraged marriage. Rip ended up falling in love anyway and started a family.
Right.
And the team is like, okay, I guess we'll continue on with your mission to kill this guy, Vandal Savage.
Right.
So we're all like team murder here.
Right. They're in. Even now Jax, who wants to be part of the team.
Right.
Because he knows the whole story now.
Yes. So Rip has Gideon plot a course for Norway in 1975, where last thing we see is Vandal Savage caressing his weapon.
How I learned to love the bomb.
That looks like a warhead. So
it is, I think. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's like a nuclear weapon of some sort.
Yep.
An atom bomb.
So, okay, rating.
9.5 Neanderthal bikers. I loved it.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
I thought this was a really fun pilot.
Yeah.
It's only part one, so hopefully the second part's just as good. But
Yeah.
very promising start. I give this one 9 out of 10. Stolen TARDISes. I meant time ships.
Yeah.
Inherent
And you know what?
ships.
I don't care who copies who.
Yeah.
This is so entertaining. I loved it.
It kind of brings together both of my main interests. It's like
Yeah.
you've got the DC universe and you've got
Comic
Doctor Who
time travel.
in one show.
Right. And it's almost like they're winking at itself by having the guy who played Rory.
Yes, exactly.
As Rip Hunter.
I'm sure that was intentional.
It's fantastic. And
it's like they
Rip
made this show
Hunter-
for me.
Rip Hunter is an amazing character in the DC universe, and he plays it so well.
Yeah.
I don't even care that he's got a British accent.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are griping, oh, why does Rip Hunter have a British accent?
Who cares?
Who cares? So they made Rip Hunter a Brit. So what?
It doesn't matter to me.
So what?
What kind of an accent he has.
He's from the future, so maybe that's how everybody talks then.
Right. I always pictured him as having kind of a Texas accent.
Well, it depends. Well, because we know who his
But again,
father is.
Well, yeah.
But I'm not going to spoil that.
Right. But that's in my brain.
Yep.
So, it could be whatever.
So feedback. We have some feedback.
Yes, we do. We have one feedback from Justina. So let me play that.
All right.
And then we'll finish it up.
All right.
Hi, Karen and Charles. Wow, it really was a super week for superhero TV. Here we go. Supergirl gets a 9 out of 10 deadly yo-yos. That supervillain, the Toyman, was particularly scary because he turns innocent things into weapons. The running theme in all the superhero shows that I watched this week is potential. The first one is Wynn's potential. He's worried that because he is the Toyman's son, that he's destined to be something evil. But it is his decisions that will make him the man that he's going to be. I'm glad that he revealed his feelings to Kara, and I'm glad that he stood up to her in a way by saying that he wasn't going to keep things the same just for her, because he can't just pretend that his feelings don't exist. I just wonder what the consequences are now that the truth of Wynn's feelings is out in the open. Will he still be a supporter of Supergirl? There's a potential for trouble there. Flash gets 8 out of 10 burning bouquets. So Earth 2 at Harrison Wells stole the Turtles' power to capture kinetic energy. Zoom is even faster than the Flash, so I can just imagine how much potential energy he has stored up in him, and how much potential energy Barry always has. And Zoom has Harrison's daughter, so I think he's either going to use what he stole to make Zoom even faster, or Barry even slower, maybe even transferring Barry's power to Zoom, which is what Zoom ultimately wants, which is definitely potentially dangerous for Central City, probably in both timelines. Arrow gets 9 out of 10 trips to Bali. I was so happy as soon as I saw Felicity's eyes opened in this episode. Emily Bettrickards did a wonderful job. I've had multiple surgeries, and the way she delivered her lines as if she had a dry, scratchy throat and slow speech was absolutely perfect. And the makeup artist did a wonderful job too, making her skin and lips look pale. Being a disabled person, I am very interested in what the show is going to do with a disabled character in a superhero world. But I know that Felicity not being able to use her legs does not diminish her potential. She can still be a very great asset to the team. Also, I'm wondering if the writers will keep her disability as part of the storyline, or will they work to resolve it quickly? A couple of theories I have on that is possibly Ray Palmer could build her some sort of bionic implant for her spine that would make her legs work. Or now that they brought magic into the show, maybe something magical could cure her. But either way, I'm looking forward to the character's journey. And I'm glad that Oliver is committed to staying with her. I'm beginning to wonder if Dark's wife is more scarier than Dark because she wanted to kill the Green Arrow even though the Green Arrow helped her and her daughter. And my latest theory on the grave is Felicity's mom or Captain Lance, because if it is Felicity's mom, that would explain Felicity's desire to now kill Dark. Or if it's Captain Lance, Felicity might still be upset because Captain Lance was making her mother happy. I give Legends of Tomorrow 10 out of 10 White Canaries living in the light. This was as totally awesome as I was hoping it would be. I love that Leonard Snark has not lost his snarkiness. I love that they named the bounty hunter Kronos and also had a Star Wars joke about Boba Fett. And I think Kronos is a god of time in mythology. So that was a good name to choose. Rip Hunter chose this team because they had minimal effect on the timeline. But I am so glad that Sarah Lance turned this around and said that they all have the potential to be legends. I think I'm really going to love this show. Have a super week.
I think I am too.
Thanks, Christina.
Justina.
Justina. Sorry, I was thinking of somebody else. Sorry, Justina. It's been a long night. It's been a long day. I apologize.
I posed the theory about it being her mother to Kevin Batchelder on the Arrow board like 2 weeks ago. So Justina and I are just on the same wavelength.
Apparently you are, so that's good.
Yeah, so if you want to give us your feedback, you can send it to @FandomZonecast on Twitter. We tend to tweet every once in a while on there. Charles tweets a lot of stuff on there. Not very much, but I do retweet stuff on there every once in a while. We have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Fandom Zone Podcast. Please visit us there.
And please give us some likes.
Please do. We do have some interesting things on there. So join us there.
Yep.
And then fandomzonecast@gmail.com. And you can reach me at Aleveria, ALEVERIA, on the Twitter machine. And my About Me page is about.me/Aleveria. But it's in my bio page on my Twitter bio.
How convenient is that?
I know it is.
All right.
And all my linkies are there.
Linkies.
So where can they reach you?
Of course, I'm at Charles Skaggs on the Twitter machine. And at Charles Skaggs on Instagrams and Google Plus for all you crazy kids on the Google Plus. Facebook, of course, and my blog of geeky things, Damn Good Coffee and Hots, where I talk about all the shows that are on the Fandom Zone podcast and even more.
That's right.
Hope you check it out.
Awesome sauce.
So yeah, and help give me a couple more followers on Twitter because I'm 2 away from 400.
I know. I retweeted you the other day.
It's been a whole week and I've only got 2.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We'll get you there. Don't worry.
I need 2 more spam bots. All right.
We'll get you real followers. All right.
All right. So that's about it.
Wow, that's a lot we got done in 2 hours.
Yep.
A lot.
A lot.
So we'll be back next week with even more.
Yeah, exactly. Because we don't have enough shows. We're going to do more. So
right.
We'll
Lucifer.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, Lucifer.
And right now, I guess that's it. So from the Fandom Zone podcast, we will see you later. Bye, everyone. I love Captain Engineer.
Love will keep us together.
Heatwave's favorite band.
Hey, babe, whenever some sweet talking girl comes along, singing a song. Don't mess around, you just gotta be strong. Stop